Hello, welcome to my channel. If you've stumbled upon this video, you've probably already seen Shakes' video on how he used Aim Lab for a month by practicing like an hour-ish each day to get better at FPS games, and I thought, since I'm so bad and I really want to get back into shooting games again, why don't I just, use this method. I probably won't practice like for an hour each day, maybe 2 to 3 rounds max on Aim Lab, and hopefully that like helps me kind of get back into the groove of things, because when I first opened up Valorant, I kind of was really bad to the point where I just didn't want to play it anymore, but I feel like practicing on Aim Lab will really help me get better at my aim, and then playing in-game will help me with game sense. I picked Apex as kind of the FPS game I want to get into just because I think it's so forgiving when there are gunfights, just because you don't get one shot if someone hits your head unless they're sniping you. But even then, it's really hard just because everyone's far away and everything's a projectile. So I just compiled a bunch of different games where I thought I did pretty well, or like wanted to showcase kind of what I could have done better. So hope you enjoy the video. So for this first game, I got some really good snipes on Gibraltar, and I tried to finish him off actually, but because I'm so bad, I kept hitting his shield and I didn't know how to rotate to get onto him. I usually try to finish my enemies off just because I don't want them rezzing and then chasing after me. And I was like, okay, he'll fall down and then I can get a headshot with my longbow, but then I see his teammate run up and his teammate's also sniping me back. I really couldn't get any good shots, but when he came up, I was able to get a nice shot with my sniper and a few good shots with my Mozambique, but I also couldn't finish him off. So then I used my sonar to try and find people, and because I didn't know how the game worked, I tried to snipe through the stairwell, but obviously that wouldn't go through and hit. So I keep trying to fight this little squad, but I'm not making any progress, and I look over and I see my teammates are far away, and I decided to run and rotate. Then we find another squad where I got another nice knockdown, and the mistake I made here was, rushing in with my ulti just because I thought, it's 3v2 and I got one on a knockdown, I can run in. But honestly, what I should have done, because I had a sniper, was just to stand back and try to get them from far away. I just get destroyed because my aim is so bad right now. My teammates also died and we just lost the round. And then game 2 is actually more of a fun one. We had a slow start, so I cut all of that out, but essentially we ran around, we got all of our guns, and the Bloodhound and I got snipers. So we found this tower and just decided to stay on it because it was in zone. And then I just make as best of an effort as I can to get as many shots in, to try and do as much damage and be annoying as much as possible, because we did have the high ground, so it was really nice. And I'm getting sniped back, but I mean, we're fine because I have a lot of, shields and healing, and I can just stay up here and get people. And they're also getting backed up by the zone, which is really good because it puts pressure on them because they're getting shot at by us, and then the zone is moving towards their back. However, I don't think I really get any good kills in. I did get one elim just because he was already down, so I kill stole, but we'll take those. And then we stayed in for a bit longer and I do some more shots, but then the zone kind of crept in, so we decided to rotate to a nearby building. However, as we were moving, we were getting shot at. I don't know by who, but as you can see here, I didn't know how to run quick. But because the Wraith kind of went back, I thought, we were going to engage them, so I kind of went down and started to engage this other squad, which in hindsight was a pretty bad idea. I shouldn't have jumped down, I should have just kept the high ground. But thankfully my team came back and we were able to eliminate this whole squad and get some nice loot off of them before the ring kept coming in. And then the Wraith and I actually went into the building and started looting stuff, but our Bloodhound was still outside and was getting shot at. And then he got downed, and I tried to go and res him. Which, again, in hindsight, I think this was a bad idea because we already had the high ground and the building. So I probably should have just left him here because the ring was moving in. And like this is a late stage ring, so like it really hurt. As you can see, like I'm getting damaged a lot by this ring. And I'm making my way back to the building, but I get down by another squad that like already made it into the building. But then thankfully the Wraith got the last kill and we win. So games 3 and 4 were kind of bad, but I decided to leave them in just because, you know, there's always something to learn from it. So for this, I get some really good hits on my enemies, and then my squad finishes them off, which is really great. And then we continue to run around and loot more. But I think one of my teammates died, and I try to respawn him, and I kind of just ran straight into this dude who just downed me. And then for game 4, we just landed, and unfortunately, we landed with like another squad. So while I was trying to loot and like get stuff, we were getting attacked, and like one of my other teammates was not near us at all. So I think it was like a 3-on-2, which was unfortunate. And I think the smart thing here would have probably just been to run away from everything and then come back to revive my teammates, but that's all right. Okay, game 5 was a juicy one. So I'm trying to run up to my Gibraltar because he sees something, and I'm shooting at the enemy, and I get some pretty good hits on, and they got elimed. And then while we were looting that body, I think the rest of his team started shooting at us. And then we followed through and went behind that wall to try and get them. And I think we were able to down their squad and just pick up the rest of their stuff. And then we rotated back towards the building we were trying to go to and had a fight with another squad. I got some good shots in, but I also went a bit too ham and kind of got myself in a sticky situation. I really should not have gone that far up. I probably should have just stayed behind my teammates. But I went outside of this little shield because I thought the enemy was all dead. So I ended up having to waste my shield cells. And then we held that spot until the ring started pushing us in. And then we went down and tried to get into this building. And then I noticed I was kind of in the open, so I tried to run behind this rock. And then I saw my teammate was down, so I went to try and revive her. However, she decided to res herself, so I just put out a healing drone and kind of just was watching my back to see if anyone was coming up. And then I decided to shield back up. And we started to run back to our Gibraltar, who was downed. And I wanted to revive him, but I was kind of dumb. I just ran straight into this this ulti because I thought it was my teammates. But it was fine because I think there were a few other squads, so they were distracted, and I was able to get back to my Gibraltar and get the res off. And then we try to rotate back into the building, but my Gibraltar was low, and I think he either got shot or he got hit by the zone. So again, I resed him back up, and we were able to make it back into this building. So while we were trying to heal, I think another enemy came in, but I think she was by herself, so we got the kill off. And while the Gibraltar was looting, he didn't notice there were people behind him, and he got downed. And I tried to hold this with my other teammate, but I think we were getting sandwiched by two different squads, and I got a nice knockdown. But then I was low, so we had to heal. And then while my other squad mate was picking up the down banner, she got hit and down by another squad. And I cut back to try and res her and kind of held a gunfight against this other enemy. My teammate smoked, and then she tried to repair her shields, but for some reason she went out that way when she was low and got hit by the zone and then got downed. And then I almost wanted to get her back up, but the zone damage was too high, so I ended up going back into the building, and I'm also low HP, so I tried to heal behind this. Thankfully I had full shields and I was able to get some shield off and heal a bit back, but I got hit by the zone and I thought the enemy would push up to me, so I ran and tried to corner, but in the top of the screen you can see that she like peeks and like sees me. What I should have done is just held over at the door and got a full heal off and then try to gunfight her that way, but because I didn't get a full heal off, she downed me and it was game over. Game 6 was kind of a fun one. For the first half of it, we were just kind of chasing behind this other team that I'm shooting at right now, and I get a few good shots off, but not enough to like do anything. And we get pushed by the zone, so we try to push into that building where they're at, and then we get third partied by another squad. So we're like back and forth fighting between the squad that's outside here and then the squad that's inside that giant building. I run back to this yellow thingy to get a good cover, but my bloodhound gets down and I res him. I then try to get some good shots off of these two other squads. And then as the zone is coming behind me, my team runs up to that building and I follow them. And we're kind of just stuck on the outside. And we try to push the team that was already inside the building. Unfortunately, my Gibraltar gets hit in the back, and then my Bloodhound kind of pushes a bit too far, so he's in a spot where I really can't res him. And then while the Gibraltar and I try to hold this spot, we get pushed by the zone. This enemy Bloodhound gets in the shield, but he wasn't able to down me. And then the zone pushes in, and I try to go and I don't know why, I try to go behind this other squad, but I didn't realize that the zone damage was way too high and I just got killed by it. So game 7 was actually a really good one. I feel like I think I played this after a whole weekend of Apex, so the previous games, so I felt like I was doing a lot better. I knew kind of where to hide and what to do and when to reload, when to stick back or push. And I think I was very proud of my mechanics for this one. So I run up, except for this, I forgot to reload, but I got the shots off on 2 of the enemies and I downed them. And I know that their third is gonna come up to me, so I started resing my team and I threw out the little drone to heal. And this was my first elim on all 3 enemies, and I got the kill leader. This is a great moment. So then we tried to loot and leave this area, but then another squad kind of runs back up, and I thought we were going to rotate out, but then my teammates kind of went back, and so I went back and started chasing these enemies. I usually don't like playing with shotguns just because I feel like I do better at a longer range, but this automatic shotgun really helped in these situations. And then as we pushed, I got a kind of like a sneak attack on this enemy, and I just full down her. I don't know, honestly, I don't know why she was just standing there with like one shot left. And then as we get down to the few final squads, my teammates and I try to snipe at this team that's like in the building. However, we were also getting pressured by the zone behind us. So it's just like a back and forth between like my team behind this rock and then that team that has like, you know, all the cover they need. And then I think we also get pushed by like another team on the left side. So we're dealing with the zone behind us, a team in front of us, and then a team to the left of us.
If you need it. Just give me my shields and recharge.
Giving my hostile right here.
Watch yourself. There's another squad attacking.
My team gets a nice down on one of the enemies running away, and then I tried to get some snipe shots off on the team in front of us, but again, it kind of sucks, so, you know, it didn't hurt them as much. And then while I was trying to shield back up, the enemy threw an airstrike at us, and like I kind of freaked out here and I didn't know what I should have done. The smart move would have just been to fall all the way down, but I didn't know that ramp was there, so like I didn't know that I could get back up, and I downed myself, and then we just lost that round just because I was dumb and the other team was able to push on to our team while my Wraith tried to res me. So for this last game, I felt like I was really getting the hang of aiming, so I was able to, in my opinion, get a lot of shots off with guns that I usually wouldn't be able to get hits off with. So we push towards this like little valley area, and we're basically fighting against this team, and I run up. I was a little confident here. I really shouldn't have pushed towards the enemy like that, and I keep looking backwards because I think there's like a squad that's like behind us. Then I slid down to get the kill on one of the enemies, which you know, risk and reward like that. I should have probably not done that, but it got us a kill, and I try to run back behind my team because again, I think there's someone behind us. I get the full down on the enemy, and then I get the elim on the bloodhound. And then I think there was like a third like party shooting at us, so we downed them. And then as we push into the zone, I get some nice shots off, but unfortunately I had to reload, and then since I was getting shot at, I lost my target. And as we are basically like holding the last squad, they're in the building, one of the Wraith runs ahead, and I'm getting shot by the lifeline. And after I like heal back up a bit, I run towards the Wraith. What I should have done here is just drop down and get the res off of her, but I thought that, you know, the lifeline was low, so I was like, oh, maybe I can down her. No. So I get down, and the rest of the game, the last squad gets their final res off, and we just lose. So that's it for all of the gameplay. I ended the week with an increase from 40,000 points to 45,000 points, and considering that I can't dedicate like more than an hour or two every day to playing games or practicing on aim lab, I think that a 5k increase in my first week is tremendous, and I really am proud of it. Looking back on all of this footage, I think aiming wasn't so much my issue, although, you know, we could always be better at aiming. I think my true issue is just my game sense, because a lot of these clips where I died unnecessarily, it was because I pushed ahead and wasn't thinking about like where my teammates were, where the enemy was, where the more advantageous spots to just like camp at were. So I just ended up getting killed sooner than I really needed to. I definitely do want to get better at FPS games, so I'll continue playing with aim lab, but I don't know if I'll stick with Apex. I think it's more of like a casual thing. But what I've really noticed with Apex is like when you're playing with randoms, there's really no like strategy behind it. You kind of just run around and loot stuff, and you know, if your team can't like stick together and do things in a smart way, you just get downed after spending like a good chunk of your time looting. So it's kind of frustrating, just do everything up front and then not be able to play a full game. But anyway, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching.